Welcome to Two Brands, One Mama. This is the very first episode, and I am so excited to dive in deep into something that I feel like doesn't get talked about a lot. It's almost like taboo to talk about, but here I am. Let's dive into it. In this solo episode, I get raw about the identity crisis that hit me after becoming a mom. When life, business, and ambition didn't slow down, but my world shifted overnight. I share the unspoken struggles and surprising growth that actually came from redefining who I was in this new chapter. And I can say this, I wasn't just redefining it then, I'm still in the messy middle of redefining exactly who I'm meant to be. So let's kind of paint the picture, set the scene. Pre-baby identity. Girl, I was everything I wanted to be and more. I was a dog mom. I was owning two businesses. They were both thriving. Baltall was in some transition phases then, if not as much as it is now, but we were hiring. People were, finding new paths in their lives that they were needing to take. We were booking, rocking the weddings. Everything was going great. I had a confidence within me that, like being a business owner, that one can only wish for. I loved networking. I loved going to these social events and just being in the room with like-minded people and people walking up to me saying, "Oh my gosh, I follow you on Instagram. I feel like I know you already." Instagram, socials, the business was my heartbeat. It was literally who I was. If you asked me to say a little bit about myself, I would say I'm a wife, dog mama, and a business owner. It was who I was wholly, fully, like it was who I was. Not only business owner, not only a wedding planner, I was a team leader. And while I'm still working on being the best team leader I can be, it was something about educating others and showing others how to do something that I so deeply love to do. The passion for wedding planning and running a business was crazy. It still is there, but it looks different, and we'll dive into it. I had this assumption when I was pregnant that I've got the systems in place, I'll be fine, and I'll bounce right back whenever he's here. No problem. And I say it's an assumption because I was wildly wrong. While yes, I had all the systems imaginable, I had everything in my head exactly how it needed to be. It was all planned out. I had everything planned out. I had the birth planned out. I had the maternity leave planned out. I had all the handoffs planned out. Thank you, Jamie. But I did not plan the shift in who I was. I had no idea exactly what was coming. And while it did not actually hit me like a freight train in that hospital after I became a mom, it was a very slow unraveling 2 months of learning this whole new role. I had to put on the back burner something that I had planned and had figured out almost to a T. I knew exactly how to plan a wedding. I knew exactly how to execute a wedding. I knew the holes in my business and what needed work. And I knew exactly what was working. But the thing is while I was working on getting those systems exactly how they needed to be, everything was still in my head. I knew all of those things already, and all of that had to be put on the back burner sitting in that hospital. Whenever I looked down at my new baby and said, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I don't know how to plan out this. I don't think I can plan out each day. I definitely couldn't. He threw his curveballs in the first month that I was not ready for. There was no part about baby that I could plan. That started the identity shift there. Not only that, but then the week before my husband went to work, I looked at him and I said, "What are you worried about when going back to work?" I kept deflecting onto him because in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't him that needed to be worried. It was me. I was worried. I was a ball of anxiety, wondering how the heck am I supposed to make it day in and day out without him, without my whole support system. Well, he was not my whole support system. We have a great support system, but my number one, who was there day in and day out for the last 2 months, is going back to work all day for 12 hours? What do you mean? The who works shift work and wasn't going to be here some nights, he would do the nights. So what do you mean that I had to do them alone? I would ask him what he was worried about in me being able to parent alone. While yes, he comes home every single day, He's exhausted. It's long hours and he helps in ways that he needs to help. But while he was also going back to work, I was returning into the business slowly, but I was returning. That week that he returned back to work, I had a meeting with, at the time, was my operations manager, Jamie. She now has a new role. From, again, we're rebuilding and in a transition moment within the business. But at the time, she was running this whole entire business, and I literally cannot thank her enough. And I probably told her thank you a million times, and I still can't tell her enough, because she gave me that time, those 2 months, to learn how to be a mom. I still don't know it all, right? I don't think I'll ever know it all, but I was able to take those 2 months and not only cherish that little newborn bubble that we were in, but not have to worry about where the business was. How was the business doing? Because I literally knew she was killing it. Whenever I met with her the day before, that's when that freight train came and hit me. It was like a light bulb went off in my head. I was sitting in my car. I don't remember where I was going or what we were doing, but I cried, and I cried a lot. And I'm going to try not to cry again. I had to come to that realization that I no longer could do this on my own in the way that I was doing it. I was the touch point for every single client. Every single client had contact with me. Every single wedding I had a part in. Every single system, every single process, every single thought, every single thing. I was the one doing it. And I had to sit back and realize that if I wanted my dream of this business, of Bon Temps, to thrive and continue to exist, it had to thrive and continue to exist without me being the front of it. And I had to think back at, what did I love? What did I love within the business? I loved networking, I loved designing, and I loved seeing the big picture come together. So I had to figure out how I could get that back into the business and within my life without taking on the whole entire business again. And so I met with her on that Friday, and I sat down and I looked at her holding my baby, and I said, Jamie, I cannot continue to do this on my own. And I don't know what it looks like going forward, but I have to get that out, that I cannot do this on my own. Had to figure out a way to not completely lose who I was, while adapting into who I am as a mom. I had this pressure to be who I was, even though everything is different. Even though my whole entire world looks different, my day-to-day looks completely different. There's so many days that I so desperately want to go back to before. And it's not that I don't love my baby, this literal gift to my life, is that I didn't recognize me anymore. And I have to learn who I can be going forward for the rest of my life, because Taylor can't come to the phone right now. Why? Because she's dead. But who I was is no longer who I am. And it's for me to find how the networking, the designing, the overall big picture of the business, how I can do all those things in my day-to-day life. And with that came the new structure of the business. And it's so good to be able to look at what we're redirecting to, what we're restructuring to, and to see my role within it, and look at the team and see how they're going to thrive in these new positions, all while still me on the back end, learning to be a mom, learning how my day-to-day is going to go, and realizing that the old me got me to this point. And I'm so thankful for her, and I'm so proud of her. And I have to be proud of who I am right now, who this mama is, who this business owner is, because I'm still growing the business. We're not in a steady spot right now. With looking at the old me and who she was and being so proud, there is still days and parts of me that grieve, very much so, of letting go what those old routines were, what those what the little bit of that freedom looked like, and those identity markers. Again, it's not that I don't love being a mom, and this is exactly what I've prayed for, and I thank God every day for answering this prayer, but it's okay to grieve what you used to have. I still grieve sometimes the relationship my husband and I had, because How could you not? Like, it looks so different right now. We're in the 3 months of new life, like, and him needing me and William. There's also a grief point, like a pain point, I guess you could say, where I built something and now it feels a little distant because something is very much my new priority. And rightfully so. I am making it a priority because I need to make it a priority. And I want to make it the priority. My businesses are very much not front facing as it should be, right? Business is business and baby's baby. Life is life. My personal life will be here forever. A business will shift and change, and other people will be in the forefront of that, keeping it a business. There's a guilt for missing my business and for wanting some time away from my baby at times. Someone told me something recently where you actually can't be 100% ever. You can be 75% for them and 25% for yourself. That's still not healthy though, right? I'm learning that balance. I'm learning that balance of business, me time, and baby time. It's learning to ask for help at home, to say, hey, no, I can't do bath time tonight. I need to go read a book. I need to go for a drive. I'm tapped out and I can't keep it pouring from an empty cup. There's the mom guilt of I've been gone too many days this week, or I need to ask for a babysitter again. There's a difference between an entrepreneur and a mom and a corporate girly and a mom. Not saying that one's harder than the other or anything like that, because they all come with their struggles and all their high and low points. I've heard from other mom friends that it's when you drop that baby off at daycare, you cannot wait to go pick them up and do bath time and dinner time and love on them in snuggles. I'm with him 24/7 throughout the night, all in the morning, the afternoon, the evening, and the night again. And so I crave those nights out, those days out. Even when he's with me at a co-working lunch or a vendor meeting or something like that, I'm still out and about and having social interaction. I desperately need that in order to hold on to that identity of who I am and who I was and who I'm going to be. But it never fails that the mom guilt is there. I thought I wanted to get back to work meant that I wasn't bonded enough with him. And when I did go back, I felt guilty for also not being ready to go back. I am still in it where I have days that I am not a good leader. I feel like I was not ready for this business to start working back again. There's days that I feel like I've worked too much where I'm slacking at being a mom. There's the battle goes on. There's some days that I'm thriving and I'm good and everything is great in our world. And there's some days where I am like, I'm at my breaking point and everything is drowning. And I'm there too. I'm nowhere near getting my head above water. So kind of shifting the conversation a little bit. I had and touching back on to what I've previously said, relearning how I wanted to show up in business now that I've changed. So I mentioned, what did I like in the business? I liked the networking. I liked the designing and the big picture moments, watching it all come together. And so how was I going to show back up in the business doing such things while also having all of my good days, my bad days, all my hormonal shifts, right? Like I'm still going through postpartum. I had to tell myself I'm both ambitious and emotional, and I'm capable and completely raw still. I'm just completely vulnerable still in this moment because I jumped back into it knowing I couldn't do it all on my own. And still, while now learning a new business structure, learning how to lead my team in a new way, and still learning how to be a mom. So I had to find new versions of what my productivity, my passion, my creativity looks like. And that came with the new structure of my business. So if you head over to Bon Temps Event Planning and Design, my Instagram page, you might not see it just yet. So if you're listening a little while later than when this was launched, you'll see it now. But we're launching a new structure of business where it's like an in-house studio in a way, where each individual team lead, like my leaders, have their own duties and their own responsibilities that are pillars in the business. And so I didn't lose completely who I was. I just became someone new, and she's still figuring it out. But with a whole team behind me and a village helping me be a mom. So, what's helped me so far is, while yes, systems and delegation and this new structure of the team, also grace, community, and honesty. Having grace within myself on those really hard days, which is hard to do. Having grace with my team members when they're like, girl, you still didn't send that email for 3 weeks. That happened. And I can understand their frustrations and I have grace with them. The community, y'all, the community within that wedding industry is unlike any other. And the honesty, being able to look at my husband, to look at my village and to my team and to say, y'all, I'm not okay right now. I don't know what we're doing next. Or I just need to get through the day. I can't think about next week. Or, hey, it would be really helpful if we just plan out all these things for the next month and then we'll, have a come to Jesus the week of to see what can work and what can't. Which brings me to the importance of refining success weekly, not monthly or yearly, or where do you see yourself in 5 years? Girl, I didn't see myself right here in the last 9 months. Why are we talking about 5 years? Why are we talking a year from now? I know where I would like to be. I have a goal that I would like to get to now, but let's try to get through the week, because right now I just need to get through the day. I used to not be able to do that. I needed to know in the fall what we were doing. I needed to know my calendar was booked out for months. Right now, my calendar's not even booked for next week. And that's okay, because if I commit to something next week and something happens with baby that I can't, I'm going to beat myself up for it. No one else. So we're going to go by day and week, not yearly, not monthly, not by 2 weeks. Okay. We're going to go daily and weekly. And then something that has actually really helped me was giving myself space to grieve who I was, and without shame of, you're a bad mom, Lindsey, because you want to get away for a day. No, I'm with him 24/7. It's okay to have a day to myself. Or I'm a bad business owner because I had to reschedule that meeting because now he has a doctor's appointment because he has his first cold and he's wheezing and I don't know what to do. Or I'm a bad wife because all I could do today was rock him because he's teething and needs mom's arms. When before all of this, I hardly ever had to reschedule a meeting unless it was for my own doctor's appointment last minute and it was an emergency. Or really no other reason. Like, I never really rescheduled appointments and like meetings. I could go to that social function without trying to find childcare. I could do things without hesitation. So allowing myself to have that space to grieve with no shame, while sometimes not easy and sometimes I don't do it. There's sometimes I'm like, no, girl, get in your car and just have a minute. He's okay. Like with someone, obviously. Or put him down and let him cry, go in the other room for a second. He'll be okay. And crying. I've cried so much in the last 3 months just because it feels good to just let it out sometimes. So my takeaways out of all this, it seems like such a down and just depressing episode to start off with. And I promise it's not meant to be that way. But it's something that has been so heavy on me that I needed to talk about for other either entrepreneurs or even just other moms. Like, you don't have to feel bad for missing who you were. But also taking the minute to realize the blessing you have in front of you, and that, well, he's with me forever now. And I'm so happy and excited to watch him grow and to see him grow into who he's going to be. And I love this new life, but it's okay to grieve your old one. You're not broken and feeling this way. You're being rebuilt into who God actually designed you to be. You're being rebuilt into who exactly your child needs you to be. It's okay to say, I did not plan for this, and it's okay to rewrite the plan. I'm a planner. I plan out everything. Guess what? I haven't planned in a long time in my personal life because I can't. Because I haven't figured out my schedule enough and how we're doing life to be able to do so. I've had lots of fast food meals. Can't figure out how to plan how to cook without having to go to the store and do all the things, all while trying to feed and naps and all the things. So rewriting the plan might take a little while, and that's okay. All in all, If you're in this identity limbo, just know that you're not behind. You're just becoming exactly who you're meant to be. And it's not a weakness, it's a rebirth. It's a rebirth into this new life, into this new world that you're now in. And it either will take you a month, it'll take you 6 months, it'll take you a year, however long it's going to take you, that's okay. It's your life. And that's sometimes maybe how it's meant to be. Take however long you need to grieve who you were, but save space for who you are now as well. I'm still in it. It's been 3.5 months and I'm still in it. And I think I'll be in it for a little bit. And I'm okay with it because within this rebirth, I'm learning exactly who I am. And it's so wild. It's so crazy. To also look back and know that who I wasn't gonna make it through the rest of this life at all. And I thank God every single day for not giving me this baby anytime sooner. His timing was exactly right. I'm exactly who I need to be in order to live in this moment and in these moments of sometimes very hard days and sometimes very exciting and happy days. I can actually cherish them, whereas before I may not have in the way that I needed to. So if you're in it, girl, you're not alone. So am I. My DMs are open. I may not have an answer for you, but I'm here to support you. I promise they won't all be this deep. I'm excited for the next one and what else is to come. Here's to the first episode. Cheers, and let's continue to build something together.